Welcome back to the Yee Yee podcast. My name's Parker. I'm joined by my brothers, Granger and Tyler. I was supposed to let y'all say your names. Dang it.
Granger.
Tyler.
Off to a bad start, brother. Yee Yee is an outdoor brand built on faith, freedom, and the outdoors. We are in the heart of December down here in Georgetown, Texas, coming to you live from the Yee Yee farm. Granger Smith is back in music, everybody. He's back. Took him a little over a year, and he's back. He just started a new band.
Electric Cowboy.
I didn't know if we were going to share that or not, because I know that's kind of your alias. Now people are going to look up
it's
Electric
definitely
Cowboy.
not.
You played on Friday under the band name Electric Cowboy at a little bar in Texas, a little brewery. That sounds so weird to say out loud. It sounds like a dream I had last night.
Yeah. What'd you think? You went. Did you have fun?
I was walking up in the parking lot, and I heard your voice singing, like in the distance, like I had my whole childhood. And I got like a little emotional. I was like, I never thought that I would hear that again. And I didn't think that I would feel that, but I'm so glad that I went, and it was so good to hear you. I don't know. I didn't know what I would think, but it sounded so cool to hear your voice playing again in the distance on like a speaker, if that makes sense. I was just happy for you.
None of what you just said is what I expected you to say at all.
Me neither.
None of that.
I didn't expect it either.
Wow. I'm kind of shocked.
Thanks, Parker. Now Granger's going to get back into music.
I did not expect any of that. Wazinski organized the whole thing. We've had it planned for probably 5 or 6 months. And it was really just about us getting together and playing some music. Like, you know, we have loved playing together for over a decade, this particular group. And Wazinski was like, hey, I have a relationship with this brewery, and they'll basically let me do whatever I want. And they said that you guys could come in and we could just bill it under an alias called Electric Cowboy, a 90s country cover band, and they won't ask questions. And I was like, well, I'll do it, but if they break that news and start announcing it, then I can't come. That would be unfair in a lot of ways. And so they didn't. They did get on their Instagram and say it's going to be the biggest night of the year, something like that, like big surprise. I was like, they didn't have to say that, but people were right at sound check. They were already texting friends, being like, "Hey, you need to get up here." But I don't know, it was fun.
There was people in Yee Yee shirts there, and I'm just like, somebody had to have told somebody.
They were people were texting. People are arriving.
So it wasn't your idea?
No, it was Wazinski.
Wow. And you were open to it. I'm surprised.
Yeah, he was like, man, can we please do this for Todd and Dusty and me? We would love to play. And I was like, I would too. But obviously we got to do it the right way. And so that seemed like a good way to do it. Let's just get together. But the thing was, we were going to do 90s cover songs. But Todd was the one that was like, I ain't doing that stupid idea. We're playing your set, man. I want to play your songs. I've missed them. I miss playing your songs. So I'm tired of playing 90s country. We're going to play yours, so just shut up. So all of us were like, okay.
Yeah, I was walking up and I saw the posters on all the doors, and it's like, it just said Electric Cowboy, and it's like this old neon cowboy hat, and it just says, it said something like a tribute to 90s, a night as a tribute to 90s country or something. And then you didn't play one 90s country song.
Yeah, I did. I played Marina Del Rey.
Oh, okay.
Which is technically an 80s country song. And Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up. That's a 90s.
Yeah.
So the other thing was, I told him, I was like, yeah, man, so it's not weird. Just put me on a stool and put me over on the side, and then you guys sing some songs, I'll sing some songs. But when I got there for sound check, my mic was in the middle. There was no stool. And they were like, shut up, Granger. You're going to be in the middle. You're going to play the show. I was like, okay, fine.
You looked like your character from Moonrise with your flannel shirt. Granger wore a flannel shirt and like a cowboy hat. And in between songs, he would just say, what would you say? You'd only say,
This is Lonnie. Back on the drums is Ronnie, and over here on bass, that's Johnny.
That's all he would say in between songs. People, if you didn't know who he was, then you probably thought he was like a crazy person. It's like, man, this guy's got a really good voice, but maybe he's just like really like socially awkward. He just keeps saying that he's Donnie over and over again.
You know what part of it was, I think, for all of us on stage? Part of it was, can we still do it? Like, does it matter if time goes by? Could we still do it? And I think the answer was a resounding yes. I hadn't practiced anything. I haven't sang at all. And I was able to do a 2-hour set, which is pretty taxing. And I wasn't even tired. So I don't know if radio has kept my voice in shape, or if that if all that's just a myth. Maybe it's just a myth. Like you could either do it or you can't. And I've done it all my life, and no amount of time could go by with me losing that. So I think the answer was yes, we could still do it. I did have an iPad with lyrics though, which is tremendous.
I was gonna ask. I saw you had an iPad up there.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if that had the words on it, because that's 2 hours worth of songs.
Yeah. So much has gone in my brain the last 2 years that would be hard, but that helps me know, like, what's the first line of the second verse? You know, that's like the hardest part. What? And then if I know that first line, then you could just do it.
So the next question everyone's going to ask is, are you going to do it again?
Yes, that's the next question. The answer is yeah. I'm for sure we will. And we for sure won't advertise it. So it'll be a different bar. We'll switch around and do new places, but I have some ideas.
New band name.
Yeah, it'll be a new band name every time. We'll just pop up somewhere. But now that we've done it, we've talked about it on this podcast and simultaneously the Smiths, I'll have to tell Johnny, hey man, you don't let your wife go on Instagram and say, special night that Johnny's playing on Friday. Wink, wink, you know.
Did you feel like, I know you're just a lover of music in general, like that's just in your blood. Did it feel good to play the songs again? Like, I'm wondering if you had mixed feelings playing your own songs, or that's why it almost made sense to me if you were going to play 90s country songs, to just like enjoy playing music again. Like, it almost seems to me that there'd be like, it would be too hard to go back and play your own songs. Did you just enjoy playing music again for its own sake? Like, I guess I'm just asking your thoughts.
I don't really know the answer, besides that maybe the next time we actually will play more cover songs to have fun. And I think this might have been more about just kind of proving to ourselves. The last time we did all those songs was the farewell tour of Billy Bob's, and it felt like the end. And this was very much a freeing feeling of playing Backroad Song again in front of a crowd, playing Happens Like That with the Boot Fits and Don't Tread on Me, and kind of leaving it more open-ended instead of the finality of the last time we did it. It was emotional and we all got up there and did this big bow. This is like, no, Backroad Song will have a lifetime. As long as I'm alive and have a voice, I'll sing Backroad Song. I think what Billy Bob's was the end of that particular era. It was that era of we're touring in buses, in a semi-truck. It was the end of the record label era and the radio hits era. But that, I don't think by any means it had to have ever been the end of me, Dusty, and Todd and Johnny playing live music in front of a crowd and playing those particular songs. In fact, there is an announcement about that. I probably won't make it. Right? Should we not say anything? Or should we keep it a mystery?
Ask your manager.
Well, now you just left people on a huge cliffhanger.
Then let's just leave the cliffhanger.
Let's leave it.
Let's leave it
for now.
There's more to the story.
Tyler, what was it like for you seeing him up there?
I don't know how it was for me. I mean, it was just really enjoyable for me to be back on the side of the stage over there with Grizz by the soundboard and just looking at Todd look over at me and with his stupid smile, and Johnny, like we all have like these little things that we used to do for years that only we did together. Like, just when he gives you that look, you know what he's thinking. So yeah, that was kind of a bittersweet moment. Cool. Like, kind of like Granger said, it's like the end of an era, but it was like, I love all those guys so much and spent like a third of my life with them. They're literally brothers of mine, and I love them and care for them. And so it was just really good to see them again. So, and like Granger said, I was surprised that his voice held up, to be honest, with the stamina that is required to sing 2 hours straight. Todd didn't surprise me at all. He was just absolutely ripping it on guitar. Like, yep, Todd is amazing.
You know what it is, man? You belt 6 songs every Sunday morning.
Maybe. Part of it is too the radio show every single day, because I do remember back in the old days, I used to get tired with After Midnight. My voice would get really raspy. Now I'm on my 4th year of After Midnight. I don't get raspy anymore. So maybe that's part of it.
Part of me also thought, my manager brain was like, could we do this? Like, could we really do this again? Like, because there's so much momentum involved when you're touring and songs and albums, and like keeping those people coming to shows, and then going to that show when there's like back in the beginning stages, like nobody's really there. It's like, if we actually did a show, would people come? I don't know.
Look, can I be honest?
We will someday.
Can I be honest about the worst part of it? Probably.
Wait, let me guess. Do you think I could guess it?
Yeah, try to guess.
I was going to ask what you miss the least about it. Now it's just going to be 30 seconds of dead silence while I try to think. Do you think you know what he misses the least about music or touring? I would say being away from home, but you weren't away from home for this show, so it has to be something with the particular set or the process of singing. It's not your voice hurting.
It's never been that.
It's probably not the cleanup, because you didn't used to have to take your own gear off the stage. But it was weird after you finished. You just like stood there and then you just like put your guitar in the case. I'm like, I've never seen Granger like help clean up the stage before. That was kind of funny. It's just Donnie up there.
Nobody else is there.
Nobody came up to you afterwards or anything. It was just Donnie up there wrapping chords up. I don't know. Tyler, do you know?
What his least favorite?
Yeah, something that he didn't miss about it that he was reminded of on Friday.
No, I don't know.
The first group of drunk people that were coming up to me afterwards.
Oh, there was a group.
The older men, especially, and it's this is not about me not being grateful for fans, but because they weren't fans, they were just like drunk men that were like, man, I remember We Bleed Maroon, and I've been waiting to see you, and I'm glad we finally got to see you in concert. When's the next time we would like to come? And I was like, there's not going to be next time. No, what's the website I can go to get the next gig? I'm like,
you do have a website, don't you, boy?
There isn't another gig, Like, it was so hard. Like, no, these are my friends, and we love to play music. Yeah, great. So when's the next time? There is no next time. That was very difficult.
Yeah, I'm following, but what I'm asking is, when will you play next?
Yeah. Yeah. So that I went round and round like with 6 or 7 different men, drunk guys afterward at the brewery. It's just like, yeah, please, where's Chris Lee to get me out of here?
So Brian took a video of a lady while you were playing that we're going to show on YouTube. And she's trying to figure out who you are. And so Brian took this video of her on her phone looking you up. And it's just like a photo of you.
Oh, she's actually looking at it.
And she's so confused. And then people are around her talking to her, and they're like, and they're like pointing at you, and she's just like looking around with really wide eyes, just so confused. We were wondering how many people would catch on, how many other people would just be like, yeah, pretty good cover band this weekend at Bird Creek.
Nice. Did you see that kid in the front row that had his head down like this on his phone the whole time?
No.
There was a guy that came up in sound check. He came up to Grizz running sound, and he said, "That guy sounds exactly like Granger Smith." And Grizz said, "Bro, I know, and he looks like him too, doesn't he?" And he goes, "You know what? He does look like him too. That is wild." And then he walked back out.
That's hilarious. I was wondering how there were no hiccups with the sound or anything. I was like, man, this brewery has great sound, but it's because Grizz did it.
Grizz did it, yeah.
That makes sense. Well, cool. Any final thoughts on that show before we move on to a little trivia?
Yeah, I don't want to leave people on a cliffhanger too long. We'll just tell them, hey, keep watching this podcast, and that cliffhanger we were talking about, you'll know the answer within the next couple months at least.
Yeah, that would be exciting. We are going to move on to a little trivia. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. Topics are going to be guns, the United States, and then outdoors and food. And we're going to see if Granger can get a little payback for losing last time. This time, rather than... Don't look at the answers. Were you looking at my phone? Tyler's looking. This time, rather than just saying the answers and then the other guy just guessing one above or one below to get closest, we have whiteboards for you. You're going to write down your answer on your whiteboard, and then when I tell you to, you're going to show it to the camera. For those watching on YouTube, and if you're not, it's okay. I'll just tell you what it is, just for those listening on Spotify and Apple. So we're starting out with the category of guns. And your first question is what is
write this down, you say it?
Yep, you write it down.
Timer. Should we do a timer? 20.
You should just think fast.
Okay.
What is the maximum range of a 50 BMG sniper rifle in miles? What is the maximum range
I'm glad you said miles because I wasn't going to do that one.
of a 50 BMG sniper rifle in miles?
As in, how far would it travel?
As in, how far would the bullet?
How far is it? Is it
travel?
like accurate to hit a target or just how? Oh, okay.
How far would
So
the
what if
bullet-
you're standing on top of Mount Everest and you just shoot it off?
No, you depending on the angle you shoot it. Like you're not, you could flat ground, but you could shoot it at an angle.
Okay.
What's that part?
flat ground, you angle your 50 cal up to say 45 degrees, you fire it. How many miles is that bullet traveling? All right, show me the answers.
You say what?
Granger says 3 miles. Tyler says 4. The answer is 5 miles.
Off to a bad start.
All right, Tyler's up 1-0.
God, so long.
Question number 2. We're thinking about buying a 50 cal. They're actually not as expensive as you think. Or do you think we should get a crossbow
Both.
for Yee Life? People seem to like bow content. Question number 2. How far away was the furthest confirmed sniper kill of all time?
Is this Nick Irving?
No.
In
In
miles?
miles. How far away was the furthest confirmed sniper kill of all time in miles? Granger says 2 miles.
That's actually what I was doing.
Tyler says 2 miles. The answer is 2.36
I was going to do 2
miles. So we'll count
That's
that
a
one
draw.
we'll count that one as a draw. I should have said to use
I
tenths.
almost said 2.5.
Vyacheslav Kowalski in 2023 during the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Whoa.
Just 1 year ago.
What kind of gun is he using?
Do you know, Zach?
No, sir.
We don't know. Do we know if he's Russian or Ukrainian?
He was Ukrainian.
It's Ukrainian. 2.36 miles. That's crazy. All right, Tyler's still up 1-0. Question number 3, last question with guns. How fast can a 9mm bullet travel in miles per hour? How fast can a 9mm bullet travel
Give us 5 seconds, Brian.
in miles per hour? 2, 1, 0. Granger says 473. Tyler says 500. The answer is 1,360 miles an hour.
How fast do airplanes go?
450.
That's where my mind went.
Me too.
Should have known it was faster.
All right. Tyler's up 2-0. Question number 4. We're moving on to our second category titled the United States. What was the population of the United States in the year 1800? What was the population of the United States in the year 1800? Shortly after our independence. Quick math in my head. Tyler says 123,000 people. Granger says 20 million people. I actually don't know who's closer. The answer is 5.3 million. So
Well, that's
Tyler
definitely
is
It's got to be
closer.
Tyler.
I don't know. I thought I needed a calculator to calculate who's closer to that.
Not many people there, brother. About 100,000.
All right. Tyler's now up 3-0. How many bathrooms are in the White House? How many bathrooms are in the White House?
In the White House where the president lives, obviously. Just the...
Tyler always likes more clarification on the question. Granger says 17. Tyler says 10. The answer is 35 bathrooms in the White House. Donnie's
I'm
on the board. Donnie is on the board.
I didn't know it was that big.
Pretty big, brother. Question number 6. How many miles is it from LA to New York City by road? So this is not by plane straight. This is by road. How many miles? You guys have traveled this probably. How many miles is it from LA to NYC by road? Tyler says 1776. Granger says 3,500. The answer is 2,800 miles.
Yes. No idea.
What were you at, Granger?
3,500. So that was.
So you were
so you did
you were
2,800?
700 off. Tyler was 1,000 off.
Yeah, dang it.
Granger wins. It is now 3-2. Tyler's in the lead. Last question in the United States category. Question number 7. How many national parks are there in the United States? How many national parks are there in the United States? Granger says 27. Tyler says 70. The answer is 63.
Dang, I'm just getting crushed today.
What's y'all's favorite national park?
You got to start by how many have I gone to?
I think Yosemite. Yosemite's incredible.
I can't think of any others that I've been to besides Yosemite.
Big Bend?
Glacier, Big Bend, Yellowstone, Grand Canyon.
I don't remember Yosemite, so maybe Yellowstone.
Yeah.
All right, question number 8. Moving on to outdoors / food. It is 4-2. Tyler's in the lead. How many years old is the oldest living tree in the United States? How many years old is the oldest living tree in the United States? Is this right, Zach? This is crazy. Tyler says 300. Granger says 2,000. The answer is 4,856 years old.
Sequoia? What is it?
Bristlecone pine. Can you guess
California.
the state?
Washington.
California.
Do I get a bonus for the state?
I probably should have saved that for the end in case we needed a bonus. Okay, so Granger won that one. So it's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-3. Tyler's in the lead. 2 questions left. What is the record weight of a bass caught in the United States? What
Largemouth?
is the record weight? Sure. Yes, largemouth. What is the record weight of a largemouth bass caught in the United States? Granger says 32 pounds.
Big bass.
Tyler says 20. The answer is 22 pounds.
I was just thinking like they're
Florida.
usually it's got to be way over past what we think.
Tyler's up 5-3. Question number 9. How many kernels of corn are on the average cob?
Man.
How many kernels of corn are on, your average cob? Granger says 125. Tyler says 300. The answer is 800 kernels on the average cob.
Oh my goodness. You can tell we're from Texas and not Nebraska. And you could also tell I'm horrible at trivia. Man.
I mean, it's pretty even. Last question. How many trees are in the U.S. of A?
Ugh.
Maybe we make them a little easier next time, Zach. I don't know, man. ChatGPT come up with these? How many trees are in the U.S. of A? That's, wow. Tyler says 70 billion. Granger says 500 trillion. Just kidding. Granger says 500 million. Tyler says 70 billion. The answer, 228 billion trees
Wow.
in the United States. Did you just put that as a joke?
No,
Basically.
I mean, I was
Yeah,
like, well, the
do I?
population is a couple billion, right? So there's got to be a lot more trees than people.
He said the United States. There's only 300 million people in the U.S.
300 million in the U.S. I thought there was like a billion or two. There's
7
8 billion in the world.
7 to 8 in the world.
And so that was for the U.S. trees?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the United States trees, 228 billion.
I was going to do 10 billion, and I was like, there's got to be a lot more than that.
Do you guys think that there are more or less trees in the United States than there were 100 years ago?
There's definitely more now because of people replanting when they cut them down, but also because of wildfires. Or there's less wildfires now that took out because people, like the ranchettes and population of people, like prevents the fires from happening. When like one fire could wipe out, like, think about some of those fires that happen now.
I think I would go opposite. I think I would say there's less just because states like Indiana used to be completely wooded. Illinois was completely a forest, and now they're farmland.
Yeah, I would think the same thing, but it says that there are more trees today than there are 100 years ago. I would be interested to think about and look into why that is.
I think Tyler's probably right with the fires and ranchettes and fences is probably the answer. Fences. Barbed wire fence changed everything.
What do you mean?
Barbed wire fence stopped the natural grazing, the massive herds. It stopped wildfires because of roads, fences.
Yeah, the concrete roads probably stop a lot.
Yeah.
All right, that's all we got this week. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week on the podcast.
Wait, what do I win?